Well, thank you for joining us on this Beurax overview. We're going to examine fully, to the best of our ability, the project known as Beurax. It was something I was asked to examine back 4 months ago, and I was sent to a website. And the first thing I liked was I could join for free. So that made great sense to me, that I didn't have to pay. Very often these programs, these companies, they ask you to pay something to get started. Well, with Beurax, zero. And that was my first piece of confidence, because I didn't want to pay to look at a company that I knew nothing about. And of course, once I got on the inside, it lets you go around the website. You can start looking at all the different tabs. You can get familiarize yourself with little bits and pieces. And that means that everybody listening to this can join for free. That's the first point I would say to you. Now, when I went in there, I noticed this document at the very, very bottom of the screen. You scroll to the bottom, you'll find a PDF. And this is what I've opened up on the screen right now. This is the PDF. There are a couple of things I didn't like about this, and it was the small print. You see, when you see a document like this and you look at this big print over at the side here, the authorized capital of the company is 75 million, but you can't see the small print. I think the company's been, well, I don't know, very marketable. They're trying to pull me over to the big number, but I'm not interested really in that at the moment. I'm interested in finding out what the small print says, and it's not very readable. And I don't know if you can read it, but I certainly couldn't read it. So what we did is we went and got it blown up to have a good look at it. And the first thing we were quite impressed is that this is their certificate of registration. It's done with ASIC, which is the Australian Security and Investment Commission. I mean, these guys are quite lethal, particularly in a business involved in this category of business. It's the securities, and they don't take things lightly. So we're delighted that, first of all, we recognize they've got registered. We have the minutes of their first meeting, but it went further than that, ladies and gentlemen, because anybody could actually create a PDF and tell us nonsense. So we didn't take that for granted. In fact, we took it a whole lot more serious than that. A very good friend of mine called the Australian government. They got through to the ASIC department, the Securities and Investment, and they asked for more information. And we got a very little information, but we were sent to this website, a government website. It's called connectonline.asic.gov.au. Now, guys, write that down, connectonline.asic.gov.au. And I mean, if that was a UK website, that would be .gov.uk. When we were sent to this website, we were a little bit disappointed because we couldn't see anything to do with Beurax on this. So we actually had to go and search, and that's why I'm showing you this, so you can do your own homework. We clicked the down arrow here, and it came up organization and business names. So we typed in Beurax. We didn't realize their name was a little bit longer than that, but that's all we knew at the time. We typed in Beurax, we pressed the go button, and wow, now we've got the name of the company, Beurax Corporation, Pty Limited. That's the first thing. The second thing, we could see that they were registered. Wow, thumbs up. And we can see it's fairly fresh registration. It's about 6 or 7 months ago. But that means at least they've the right intentions. They're prepared to register with the Securities and Investment Commission. So that was we felt quite comfortable about that. Now, we didn't just leave it there. Two things we did. The first thing is we rang a friend of ours in Australia, and he actually has a friend that works for ASIC. And the friend said to him, well, yes, if they're registered, that's fine, but make sure they've got what's called an ACN number. I didn't know what an ACN number was at the time, but that stands for an Australian company number. And of course, here we could see that they do have an ACN number, a 643681, blah, 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 blah. So that gives us another little bit of confidence, because this guy worked inside ASIC. The next thing we saw on the website, that they were looking for current and historical company information. So we paid $17 for this. Now, I wouldn't even, you know, if you were showing me this right now, and I wouldn't even accept that word from you. I would actually go ahead and pay for this yourself. And that's what I did. We paid for this, and we got the document sent to us. It cost $17, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. And we got the document, and we were very, very impressed. And we got this document back on the 17th of October last year. So just, you know, it's a little bit out of date, but that's when the research was done. Of course, that's why I'm probably recommending that you do it today, or whenever you want to get this yourself. And we could see the security number, we could see the ACN number, we got their address at 121 Marcus Street, in fact, Marcus Clark Street. In fact, we had another client from Australia that went to the building, and he took this photograph. So this is not from Beurax, but this is the building that they're registered in. And of course, he had no appointment to meet them. And obviously with COVID, he was unsuccessful. So that was a little bit disappointing, but at least the building's there. It's in Canberra, in the capital city of Australia. And we have all of that done. But then came the small print. They were showing us the big print, the $75 million. And then this gave us a lot of confidence. And that's because these $75 million is fully paid capital. Now, what does that mean? Well, it's not beneficially held capital. You see, all of us, or any 2 or 4 of us, could create a company tonight. We could go to the internet, we could get it paid, we could buy a company probably for a couple of $100s, but we couldn't put $75 million fully paid capital on it, because that raises questions. I mean, where did you get the 75 million? Which bank is it in? What kind of business are you doing? You know, if it had said $10,000 or $500, then it may have slipped through the net. But when you put $75 million on a document, that's bound to raise questions from the Security Investment Commission. But what for me and my colleagues, we felt, well, wow, these guys are pretty serious. Number one, they're registering, but number 2, they're well funded. I mean, starting with 75 million is a very, very good start point. And later on, we found out that from one of our trader friends that they went and examined the trades. And they worked out that at that time, they had about $44 million trading on the system. And obviously, that's probably why they needed a lot of money to start with. Now, I just want to tell you, I'm not a financial advisor by no stretch. In fact, this information is just based on my own opinions and calculations. Go and get your own advice is what I would recommend making any business decision, or particularly an investment decision. I mean, you really got to do your own homework there. And that's what I want to do. I want to toss this about and turn it around and just share a fair and honest opinion. And I also am going to show you some results. And again, I don't want you to think that the past performance means the future will be the same. That's not the case. But it gives you a fair indication of what's going on. So let's go back to getting started. And you can get started for free. And I like that. I really like that you can start for free. And that gives you a chance to get on the inside. It's a bit like you're going to buy a car. You know, you don't want to buy it until you get a little test drive. How does that sound? And if you have a little test drive on the inside and you have a look around, it all looks good. You're okay. Maybe you go ahead and get the car. So that's what I like about a free sign-up. But I will tell you, it's very important to make sure that your referrer's username appears here on the registration. We've had some clients that have actually meant to register, but then they went and started going on the internet and looking around, and when they came back, they registered, but they registered with somebody else, or they registered directly with the company, and that's very, very disappointing. So I would say, if you're getting started, please make sure that the person that was kind enough to share this with you gets the benefit, and you make them the referrer. So the referrer username you want to see there. Now the details, you don't need a lot of details. There's no KYC at this stage, because we have to KYC on the exchanges. The KYC is done there. If this company goes to flotation, if that ever occurred, then they would need to know exactly who you are. They would need information like your photo ID. They would need all that at that stage. At this stage, it's not necessary. And the other thing you might need to do is put in your cryptocurrency wallet, whether you use Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Litecoin. You can add them all if you wish. And remember, this is the wallet you want to receive the money from. So, okay, it's one of your wallets that you want to add in here on registration. And when you do that and you get on the inside, you'll notice these 3 clocks here, what I call clocks or banks. So we have a green dollar bank here, our USDT. We have a salmon colored Bitcoin bank here, and we've got an Ethereum bank. And when you start, it's all zeros. And what you might need to do is you might hit the plus sign here, which is replenish or top up the account. And in this case, this client was very happy to share with me their back office, so I was able to see that they had put in 0.05 of a Bitcoin. Now, I also have this all date stamped. If you look down here, this is from the 23rd of October last year, and I don't know what Bitcoin was back then, but maybe $500 or $600 for that contribution there. So that's how you put money onto the system. And the next thing you might want to do is take it out again. Because that's a lot of questions. Well, how can you get the money out? It's okay putting it in, but I'm more interested, how do you take it out? Well, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but if you do want to withdraw, you just press the withdraw button here. You can see it here, the little minus sign is withdraw. You want to add to the account, it's plus. And as long as there's a balance here, you can take it out. So in this case, there's 0.05. You can actually put it in and take it out the same day if you want. It's a little bit pointless other than to test the system, but that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to test that worked. So if there's a balance here, it's yours to take home. That's the deal. Now, why would you even look at this idea? Well, you might want to consider some of the plans that they have available. And they have 4 categories. They've got the total return, the currency, the interest rate, and the commodity swap. So there are 4 categories. You will see these 4 categories on the left-hand side. And again, they replicate themselves across the top of the screen here. Now, the blue one's highlighted, which means we're in the total return category. And what I want to show you here is that, well, this is the next thing I liked. What I didn't like was the small print, but what I like here is you can start with just $20. And I felt that was very admirable. That was very, I thought that was a very soft entry point for anyone, meaning that essentially anybody across the planet can have the advantage of this program. It's not, $20 will not put you out of house and home. It certainly should not affect your weekly family budget. It should put you under no risk at all. So get started for $20 is not a bad starting point. And up to $500, this is what's known as a 15-day plan. And it says working days. Now, what's working days? Working days is Monday to Friday. At the weekends, that's how this company makes its money. They use our money, if you like, OPM, other people's money. I mean, if you listen to any of the wealthy guys, they always use other people's money, whether it's the banks or someone else's. It's OPM. Here, they're going to use our money at the weekend, so we get nothing at the weekends, but we do get Monday to Friday. I suppose that's a fair enough operation. The benefit here of this plan is 1.4% every day for 15 days, and at the end of the 15 days, with that last payment, you get your contribution back as well. So if you put in $20, you get paid Monday to Friday at 1.4% for 15 days. On the 15th day, with the final payment, will come back your $20 again. So that's how that works. Now, you'll probably notice 1.5 here. How does that work? Well, over here, that's for those that contribute $500 to $1,000, and that's a 20-day plan. So there's 2 benefits here. Number one, it stretches it from 15 days all the way up to 20. That's an extra week of profit. And you're getting slightly more return. So we're looking at 30% here in just 20 days, whereas over here, it's 21% in 15 days. But I think it's a very nice soft entry point for anybody to what I would call dip your toe in the water. Dip your toe in the water, feel the temperature, see how it works, get familiar if that's what you intend to do. Now, of course, there are other plans, and all you do is you scroll down. And I would point out that when it's in brackets here, USD, you know this is a dollars, so it's not Bitcoin or Ethereum. This would be dollar plans, so you can get 1.6, 1.7, and the maximum is 1.8. And the higher the contribution, the better the reward. Does that make sense? The higher the risk, the better the return. And here is a 35-day plan for $5,000 or more, up to $10,000. That's the maximum, and that works out at 63% in just 35 working days. Okay, now if you look across here to the right-hand side, we notice BTC. Something's happening here. So these were USD, now we're moving to BTC. So it drops back to 1.4, and the minimum BTC plan is 001, up to half a Bitcoin, and it's a 20-day plan. If you want to work out the maths, take out your calculator. 20 multiplied by 1.4 equals 28% in 20 days. That's how that one works. And of course, the BTC plans go all the way up to 1.6. And it's a 45-day plan at 1.6. Then we get the Ethereums. ETH would be the Ethereum plans, starting again at a tenth of an Ethereum, 0.1 up to 5 Ethereum. You're back down to the 20-day plans. Then it goes to 30-day plans, and you just scroll through. And the purpose of this event is to show you how to navigate the website. Very often we get people who register and they don't know what to do or where to go, and maybe they just haven't listened to a presentation like this that guides you through. I mean, there's nothing you can do wrong. You just click here, click there. There's a lot of data on the website. The reporting, I've got to say, is very, very impressive. There are 2 things I think are very impressive. Number 1 is the reporting. Number 2 is the customer service. I've never seen anything like it. We've tested them and tried them, even with we've given them silly questions to see what they come back with. And these guys are very, very sharp. The customer service, I'm sure all you'll agree, is amazing. Now, these are for our higher net worth individuals who want to consider the currency swaps, because they start at $10,000. So it mightn't be your cup of tea, but we do have lots of clients very interested in this. And as you can see, the rewards are 3% a day. Now that's 3% a day for 90 days. That gives you 270%. How do you work that out? Well, it's very, very simple. You take 90, multiply by 3 is 270. Okay, so $10,000 would turn into effectively 27,000 because there's a difference in the currency swaps than the total return. In the total return swaps that we've just looked at, you get your profit every day, and you can take that out if you wish. And at the end of the term, at the end of the contract, you get your principal back. But with the currency swaps, you get your principal and your profits at the same time. So effectively, in approximately 30 days, you get all your 10,000 out because you're getting 3% a day. 30 days is, well, you have 90% out of it in 30 days, and it's a 90-day plan. And again, if you scroll on, you'll find out the Bitcoin plans start 1 Bitcoin up to 5 Bitcoins. It's 3.1% for 90 days. That's slightly better. That gives you 2.79 Bitcoins back. So if you put in 1 Bitcoin, you'd get 2.79 Bitcoins in a very short 90 days, guys. And very rewarding. Lots of people are having success with this. And let's go to the next category. The next category is interest rate swaps. Now, this is a different one. You know, now with COVID, it's a changing world. We've got currencies in turmoil. We've got countries in turmoil. Some countries are closing down and locking down. Others are opening up. It's a mixed bag out there. And you can expect that the currency and the interest rate swaps are very volatile. They're changing all the time. And this product reflects that. This is a variable plan. It alters between, as you can see there, 1.5 all the way up to 2.1%. And the interest rate swaps are 40-day plans. You can't do a 20-day plan or a 15-day plan. This is a 40-day, 45-day plan. So again, you can see here, on this occasion, it was 1.9%. We checked it the following day, it went to 2.1. And for 3 days in a row, this plan offered 2.1. Then the next day, it dropped down to 1.8. So it's a variable plan for 45 days. A very popular plan, I must say, because you can start with as little as $1,000 or a tenth of a Bitcoin or just 3 Ethereum puts you into this particular plan. And then the final one is the commodity swap. So if you click that, that brings you to these plans. Again, I keep knocking these plans. I didn't particularly like this. And the reason was this is a 200-day plan. For me, I just felt that was far too long down the track. I realized that, you know, pre-Christmas time, people might needed money for the holidays. People might needed to cash out sooner than that. So you just need to don't let Mr. Greed get in the way. Mr. Greed is it's a disease all us humans have, and just because it's 4.2%, it is the best paying plan. But remember, it must be money you don't need. It has to be long term, because this is a 200-day plan when I've just showed you 15-day plans and 20-day plans. So maybe after a while, when you have some confidence, you might want to tuck something away into a long plan like this. But I just want you to be aware, don't let Mr. Greedy just go for 4.2%. It is a remarkable return, but it's a long-term plan. So that's what you need to be careful about there. So just want to be honest with you. Now, the next thing we need to look at is, well, okay, we know how to fund it. We know where to find the plans. We can see that there's a variety of plans, a variety of dates and times and contracts. Let's see, how do we take the money out? That's more interesting. How do we take the money out? So in this example, we have 0.06 of a Bitcoin, and the client in this case wanted to take out 0.05. So they were leaving a fraction there, okay? And they pressed the withdraw button, and we duly found out that it went directly to their external wallet. That's the wallet you give when you register. That money comes straight out when you press the button. Now, you'll never have it faster than 10 minutes if it's Bitcoin. It could take up to probably an hour, maybe 2 hours at worst. That's how the Bitcoin works, because Bitcoin is a 10-minute blockchain. It's very, very active at the moment. It's very, very busy, the channel at the moment. So it could take you a couple of hours before you get paid once you press the button. Ethereum is much faster, sometimes we see that quite instantly from the Ethereum. It really depends on which wallet and which exchange you're using. Now, just reference here, we're looking at a withdrawal here of 0.05. And it's quite interesting just to note that Bitcoin, this account had 1.3 Bitcoins in it. That was worth $17. Would you imagine back in October, 1.3 Bitcoins was worth $17,000. Of course, we know Bitcoins, I suppose at this time of recording, about $47,000 plus that third more. This is about $60,000. So it's amazing, because this program keeps it in its currency. There's other programs that you convert your Bitcoin into dollars or into national currencies, fiat currencies, and then you miss the bull run. You miss the bull run on the coin. Whereas this, you can set it up in USDT, you can set it up in Bitcoin if that's what you prefer, or Ethereum. In fact, you can have a variety of plans. But that's just an interesting thing to note, what Bitcoin has done quite recently, because really this program can help you accumulate your digital assets. That's what it's about, accumulating digital assets. So we can see that transaction here at 0.05. That was back on the 23rd of October. On the 24th of October, you can see the client took out 0.1. The next day, they took out 2 Ethereum, and this client didn't put in any Ethereum. That's quite interesting. And then 2 days later, they took out $1,000, and then they took out another withdrawal. So actually, you're entitled to take as many withdrawals a day. You could do 2 or 3 or 4 or 6 or 10. Really depends on the size of your account and how it's growing. And you can see that this client was starting to take out two withdrawals per day. And this is after just 2 weeks in the business. They'd taken out $1,000. So you can see the withdrawals were $1,000, 0.17 of a Bitcoin, and 2.4 Ethereum withdrawal. So you can take out your profits every day. As long as it's in the wallets that I showed you up there, then it's yours to take home. Now, this is the same client account. We can see, just if we look at the dates here, we're looking at the 7th of November, 7th of November, 9th of November, 9th, 10th, 10th, and then on the 11th, they started withdrawing 3 times a day, 11th, 11th, 11th. And again, you can see the accumulation of the withdrawals here. At this stage, after, let's say, 2.5 weeks with Beurax, they'd taken out $6,200, half a Bitcoin, and 3 Ethereum. So way back then, everything working very, very nicely. Now, this is a different client altogether. This client took out 4 plans, and this is quite an aggressive client. You can see that on the 23rd of October, they put in a Bitcoin. On the 24th of October, they put in another Bitcoin. And on the 25th of October, they put in 25 Ethereum. And then 5 days later, they popped in a little fraction here of 0.15 Ethereum. So you can see here the reporting is excellent. You can see there was 4 plans created. All 4 plans were active at this point in time, and none of them were closed. In other words, when a plan finishes, for instance, if one of the plan finishes, this 4 drops to 3. And there's only be 3 active, and 1 here would be completed, because this tells you how many days. This is 13 days to run. These plans here, if you can see it quite faint there, 78 days to run. Okay, so this is obviously 90-day plans. They took out 90-day plans. There's 78 days left. That means this client account was 12 days old. 12 days old, this particular customer. Now, you can see they took out 3/4 of a Bitcoin and 9 Ethereum. That was $16,000 worth back on the 11th of November last year. Now, of course, we know that 3/4 of a Bitcoin today is at least 30,000, and we know 9 Ethereum is nearly 15,000. So this is now 45,000 the client has. Very, very pleased, very, very happy. But at that point, they were also pleased and also happy because 16,000 was a lot in just 12 days. And this is the same client account. You can see the 2 Bitcoins and the 25 Ethereum. But at this stage, they've taken out 1.25 Bitcoins and 15 Ethereum. If we go to the bottom right, we can check the date, all dates stamped here, the 21st of November. They'd taken out 31,000 back then. Well, of course, 1.25 Bitcoins is no longer 31,000. It's more like 60,000. And 15 Ethereum is probably worth, I don't know, 15, 20 something thousand. You know, so you can see that these numbers have really magnified, because you're getting the benefit of the bull run in Bitcoin or Ethereum. If you use dollars, then it's going to stay flat. It's going to stay in its own currency. But if you use Bitcoin or Ethereum, you get that benefit of the bull run. Again, we're looking at the same client. After 31 days, they've taken out $50,000 in 1 month. And that's because they've taken out 1.92 Bitcoins, 24 Ethereum. Now you can see they put in 2 Bitcoins and 25 Ethereum. So almost a month, you've all of your money back with this plan, all of it back, and you've still 90 days to go. Well, of course, in this example, there was 59 days left because it was a 90-day plan. Less 31 is 59 days. So this customer is in total profit at this stage. One of the plans is expired. He had 4, now 3 are active, and 1 is closed. The first small plan was a short plan, but these are 90-day plans with 59 days of pure profit coming to this particular client. Now, we have this up to the 28th of January. So this is about 2 weeks old at this time of recording. It's about 2 weeks old. And of course, it's gone on since. It's crazy. I'll have to get back to the client and see will they share with us their latest results. But back on the 20th of January, you can see they've taken out 3.84 Bitcoin, 48 Ethereum. But guys, on the 28th of January, that was worth $189,000. Isn't that absolutely amazing? In 2 months, 189,000. This is life-changing. And of course, this client doesn't, this is passive. This client doesn't attend webinars like you're attending today. This client doesn't speak to anyone. This client doesn't have to share this with anyone. This is passive. This is your money working for you versus you having to go out and work for your money. You see, in these difficult COVID times, people are worried about their careers. They're worried about their work. Even business owners are worried about their shops. But here, from the comfort of your home, if you've got a smart device or a cell phone or a laptop, you can build an international business from home. And if you don't want to, if you don't want to start marketing this, well, you don't have to. You can go passive and let your money work. And in this case, the account we're looking at is passive. Absolutely passive. And how many days is left? 28 days left on this account before so you can start plans every day. You can take one out once a week. You can maybe just take it out once and let them all expire. Total flexibility here and amazing detail, amazing reporting. So you can be passive or active. Now, another client was able to share me because that client wasn't active. They were just passive. This client is active. They're building a team. And again, if you're not interested in that, your part of the presentation is over. You can hang up right now and get back to the person that shared this with you. Maybe get a free account open and get started. If you're interested in building a team and sharing this idea, well, then you want to listen to this part. So we're moving into part 2 now, and we're going to look at the customer development. If you want to help this crowd develop, well, then have a listen to this. You will see in your back office, you have 5 clocks. We call this a dashboard. So in here, any bonuses you receive go in here. This tells you how many partners you have. So this client only had 2 partners. Here it tells you if they're active or not, because remember, you can register for free and do nothing. So if that was the case, this would say 2, 0, because they didn't activate a plan. In this case, they both activated a plan. This tells you what rank you're at, and this tells you how many days in the company. So this is just a nice way to show you how the business is developing. On the second day, this customer's account had grown to 7 partners in total, and 4 of them had gone active. 4 of them had taken out a plan. On the third day, it had grown to 38 partners, of which 14 had taken out a plan. And on the 4th day, there were now 68 partners, of which nearly half of them had a plan. Now, the next question rises, well, why is there a discrepancy? Why is there a difference between the 68 and the 27? Well, I'm going to tell you why. You see, maybe you showed this to someone and they registered, but you never followed up. You never reached out to them again and showed them how to fund a plan. Maybe they have no money to the end of the month. Maybe they don't know how to get Bitcoin. Maybe they don't know what a wallet is. There could be a variety of reasons. Maybe they went to the internet and read some garbage about an actor owning this company. I heard that and I remember thinking that Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's a very famous actor, he became the governor of California. And also Clint Eastwood was the mayor of Carmel. And Ronald Reagan was an actor, and he was the president of America at one stage. So when I heard the actor story, I was slightly concerned, but maybe somebody's gone to the internet and read something, and that's fine. They registered for free and never activated a plan. But essentially what I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, is we have 27 people making money, and we have another, 31 people thinking about making money. Or 41 people thinking about making money. Because when you have an active plan, you make money 5 days a week. And then something spectacular happened on day 5 for this customer. And I just want to go back 1 second. If you look in the bottom right-hand corner, it says the 27th of October. And for our new guests, I want to ask you a question. Do you remember me mentioning that date before, the 27th of October? Do you remember I told you the document was received from the government that said they have $75 million in fully paid capital, that where they were registered with ASIC and had an Australian company number? That's the date that document was received. And this account in 1 day jumped from 68 partners the very next day to 461 partners, and half of them had funded. Can you see the difference? Can you see the belief started to come into the business that, wow, this is real for people? Now we have 250 people making money and another 200 and something thinking about making money, or maybe you didn't call them back, maybe you didn't follow up, maybe you didn't answer their questions, maybe you didn't help them get a plan. So that's the reason there's a discrepancy. But there's 250 people making money after just 5 days. Day 6, it grew to 600 clients, 388 active. Day 7 was 681 with 400, 2/3 of them active. And if we just take a reflection back then, that meant this client had earned $4,361 in commissions plus a $3,000 bonus. You can see here, about $7,000 in 7 days. Not bad. $1,000 a day, I call that a business. If you're making less than $1,000 a day, it's not really a business, it's a hobby. If you're making $1,000 a day, I call that a business. So this particular client has themselves a little business after 7 days. Now, let's go to, they were very happy to show me, because we called them up and said, listen, how are you getting on with the program? What's happening? I just wanted to get an update from them. And they said, okay, it's day 75. I said, wow, I remember day 7. Show me day 75. Well, you can see in day 75, the same account had 8,600 customers with 5,000 people making money, 3,000 thinking about it or forgot to think about it. We got another update on day 83. That was a week later. There was nearly 10,000 clients, 6,000 active. We got another report on day 90. 11,000 active, 11,000 registered, 7,000 active. And I think we got one more, day 97 for this particular client, 13,500 people in less than 100 days, 8,500 people making money. And that was back on the 28th of October. So we'll have to get back to them and see, can we get another fresh update to see how it's going, but it seems to be going well. You can see they got a $31,000 bonus at that stage, guys. Very, very exciting times. Now, when you go to take the withdrawals, there are a variety of options, and this is another bit that I did like. You can actually withdraw to Bitcoin, to Ethereum, to Litecoin. Perfect Money, if you know what that is. It's like a payment provider. You go online, set up an account with them. They'll give you a plastic card if you wish. And if your funds go there, then you can use it at the ATMs or the stores or on the internet. So there are a variety of ways to get paid out with your withdrawals. And again, you'll see down here in the bottom right, we can see that Jeremy Reynolds, hello, how are you? How may I help? You're going to see the live support here is spectacular. I'm sure you'll enjoy that when you see that operating. One thing I didn't like, let me tell you this, guys, is there's a phone number on the website. I called it back in October, it was working. November at the beginning, it was working, but mid-November, this phone number stopped working. And they didn't remove it from the website, so I didn't like that. And the challenge there was, we were told that there was that many people that excited, they were ringing up and talking about the opportunity, instead of, these guys are a financial company. They're into trading, AI, robotics. So they're not a marketing company like a lot of people think they are. They're let's call them a technical company, and they turned off that number. They used all the live support. They put all their efforts into this live support. So just that's one thing I didn't like, and because I tried ringing them after, and I thought, oh my goodness, there's something wrong here. They're not answering, and of course we wrote to them and we got that explanation. So just in case, I'll tell you the good and I'll tell you the bad. Now, here's another account. So we've looked at about 3 or 4 accounts. Let's look at this one. This is a very interesting one. This is Alexander Baus. Now, we brought Alexander onto a call just like this one you're listening to today. And we asked Alex some questions, and there was a few of you on that call. You're on this call too. I know you were there. And I wasn't cheeky. I just asked some questions, and I said, Alex, listen, how did you find out about the company? How long were you with this company? Tell me, where do you live? Tell me how you're making so much money. And he said, I can show you. And Alex actually works in the medical profession. He supplies equipment to hospitals and that kind of stuff, and doctors' practices. And Alex was very kind to open up his back office. And I mean, he showed me this, and we all looked at it, and we saw 3.3749 Bitcoins that he'd taken out, these 3.374 Bitcoins. And I says, Alex, that seems like a lot of money. You must be doing a lot of work. He says, actually, the strange thing is I've been on holidays for this last 2 weeks. And I took out nothing, but you can see here on the 20th of October, he'd taken out 5.93 Ethereum, and then there was nothing he took out for almost, what, 2 or 3 weeks there. Well, yeah, a couple of weeks later. And I said, Alex, you must be building a big business. He says, actually, no, my partner wouldn't even allow me to use the phone. I was shocked myself when I saw all this money. And I says, well, Alex, with the greatest respect, I don't know you, but tell me this, how do I know this isn't screenshotted, or what do you call that stuff, photoshopping? I said, how do I know this is real? I mean, he says, well, give me 1 second. And I mean, he went very quiet, and I said, he's run away, there's something wrong here. But no, Alex was actually on the internet pulling up what's called the blockchain. The blockchain is the blockchain of trust. You can't fictitiously create anything. There's a hashtag transaction code here. You can actually take that down yourself and go and look at this transaction. It stays there for the rest of its life. And there you could see that he withdrew 3.3749 Bitcoin. So let's just go back. 3.3749. Then I said, okay, I'll catch you out, you bugger. Let me have a look at this. Let me find out, when did you do this? So it was the 6th of November at 8 in the morning. And then, of course, it was the 6th of November at 10:30 in the morning. So this transaction took a couple of hours. So I was very impressed when I saw that this was absolutely real. And again, what's interesting is that was worth $53,000 back then. 3.3 Bitcoins was worth $53,000 in November. Now, 3 Bitcoins today is worth 120, 130, 140, and another over 150,000. Can you see the power of the program? That not only do you accumulate digital assets, but these digital assets are in a bull market that are growing. Of course, if it was a bear market, it would be the opposite. But certainly from what we're hearing, that Elon Musk has now put 1.5 billion into Bitcoin, and now the rest of the world will start to follow. You'll see more and more companies doing it. There's a scarcity on Bitcoin. There's only 21 million of them. And if you can get your hands on some, like Alex got his hands on 3 here with Beurax, he's a lucky guy. So about a month later, we called up Alexander. And we said, Alexander, how are you? Would you come on a call with us? And again, he said, yes, no problem. I said, how are you getting on? He says, very, very, very well. And I said, well, can you give us, some numbers? How's it doing for you? He says, it's growing nicely. I've taken out $13,000, 13 Bitcoins, and 12 Ethereum. I says, how many Bitcoins? He says, 13. Oh, I thought you took out 3. And he said, oh, sorry, no, that was last month. I went, oh, okay, so you've got a whole lot more. He says, yes, let me show you. So he showed me this, and we took a screenshot of it again. And you can see 7 Bitcoins on the 4th of December at 9:46. And I said, Alex, you know my next question? He says, no. I said, how do I know this is real? How do I know you didn't Photoshop for this? He said, oh, yes, I should have remembered. You asked me that the last time. And Alex pulled up the Explorer on the blockchain. You can't fictate this. Here we go. Here is the hash transaction code. You can see it was the 4th of December, 2 hours after. He took it out at 9:46. At 11:45, it had entered his wallet. 7 Bitcoins. And 7 Bitcoins, ladies and gentlemen, back then, which is only in December, a couple of months ago, was worth 135,000. Well, guys, 7 Bitcoins today times, it's over 300,000. It's incredible. And he's getting all of this from Beurax. So that's a big account. I've showed you some smaller accounts. And now let's talk about the compensation plan. And this is something you don't have to understand. Guess why? It's all done for you. And what the arrangement here is, you are not, I assume, a financial advisor, so please don't give anybody any financial advice. All you are is a referral agent. You're pointing them to Beurax, and each client does their business directly with Beurax, not with you. So if somebody asks you for money and, hey, give me 500 and I'll put it in, don't do that. Please don't do that. You're not licensed to take money of anyone. You cannot give financial advice. Please don't do that. You can recommend any company. You can recommend a TV channel. You can recommend a movie. You can recommend a doctor. You could recommend a hairdresser for the ladies. You could recommend a nice shoe shop. And you can recommend a trading brokerage like Beurax. But let your client do their business directly with Beurax. Don't you do the business with them. And they're engaging directly with Beurax. They're sending their money to Beurax. They've done their own due diligence, and you get a commission or a referral bonus. It's called an affiliate plan. And it's quite good because any recommendations you do, Beurax are happy to give you 6% of that plan. And instead of them spending millions of dollars advertising on television, Beurax believe that there's nobody better to promote a product or service than an existing happy client. There is no one better. And if you're getting good results and you think it's good, you're very likely to tell others, and they reward us. And you can see here that 6% on any direct referral, 3% on indirects, 1%, and then a variety of smaller commissions, 15 generations in depth, guys. Very, very rewarding compensation plan. As soon as there's $10,000 in a particular structure, then you get promoted to 7, 3, and 1, etc. Once there's $30,000 of promotion, you get 2 things. Number 1, you get a pay rise, but you get a bonus of $1,000. And I would say, out of the people listening to this now, At this point in time, I would say maybe half of the people on this call have already earned that $1,000 bonus. Of course, when you have 60,000, you get the $2,000 bonus and 9%. Then you get $120,000 of combined financial structure in a particular way. You'll find that on that PDF. You get a $3,000 bonus, etc., etc. Now, 2 weeks ago, I know 8 people by their first name. I know 8 people by their first name who received this $50,000 bonus just about 2 weeks ago. And I believe James, if James is on this call, he's about the first person in this community to do the $250,000 bonus. He's just slightly off $250,000. He'll probably do it later this week. I don't know if James is on the call, but I know somebody who knows James very well. And with that, I'd like to bring on none other than Larry. Larry, I believe, is in Canada at the moment. Larry, are you on the call? Maybe you could give us a testimony and let us know how you're getting on, sir.
Hey, Hugh, can you hear me okay?
Can indeed, Larry. Shoot away, brother.
Absolutely. And right before this call, James actually hit the $250,000 bonus. So he just went over it like about 30 minutes ago. So congratulations, James.
Wow, wow. James, you are a leader. That is absolutely amazing. All you need is $10 million in business. When I say all you need, with this business, it's growing rapidly. And I mean, he's on his way now to a $500,000 bonus. But anyway, this call is not about James. Maybe we'll get him the next time. This is about you, Larry. Let us hear your story, please.
Hey, Hugh, absolutely incredible presentation. And Hugh is our upline. So myself and Jeremy Barnett and Gary Wood, we all partnered up to start Beurax, and Hugh is the one that told us about that. So incredible presentation. We've introduced about 129 people to the platform, and that has now grown to almost 30,000. So, you know, James is under us, but it just goes to show you we're right behind him. We're about to hit that bonus as well. We're over 9 million in volume, but James has been sharing it. James hasn't done anything different than anybody on this call. The only thing he did differently was he shared it with more people, and he's got that duplication. But guys, I really feel like I've been doing this for 30 years. I've done every kind of product company you can build. But when you start dealing with cryptocurrency and you start having a company where everybody in your team is making money, that is a fact. If someone comes in for $20 Monday through Friday, they're going to make 1.4%. They're making money. I've also never been in a company where out of 30,000 people in my team, I've never had a single person over the last 92 days that I've been involved. No one has ever said, hey, Larry, I didn't get paid, because we're all getting paid. I have got testimonials coming in from around the world, people that were literally about ready to lose everything. And now, you know, 60, 70, 80, 90 days later, they've made 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 in the platform. We're not making claims, but we're letting you know facts. Guys, this is working for people around the world. We've got teams on here from South Africa to Russia to the Philippines to Canada, all over Asia. We're around the world. Cryptocurrency is absolutely the future. We mentioned what happened with Tesla. That was 1.5 billion. Now Apple is on the hook. Apple is there. Believe Apple is going to make the next big billion-dollar deal with Bitcoin. Cryptocurrency is the future. The one thing I tell everybody, the easiest way you promote this, everybody's got cryptocurrency sitting in a wallet. It doesn't matter if it's Coinbase, if it's Exodus, if it's Binance, they've got cryptocurrency sitting in a wallet, and it's making them nothing. It's going up and down with the price of the coin, and that's it. All we're doing is offering them a platform like Beurax where they can actually sit their coin. The company does all the trading, all the investments, all the work, and they guarantee us a percentage every day on what we put into the platform. I tell people that people go and they invest in the stock market every single day. They pray that their stocks go up and down, and that's how the stock market works. Beurax is the cryptocurrency stock market, and it is going to be the future. A lot of people don't understand it now, but that doesn't mean that we're not all winning and we're in the head of the curve. You know, Hugh said another thing that was brilliant. When you've got a company every single day with the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum going up, we've got a company every day where we're earning Bitcoin and Ethereum daily. That is like adding to your pile of gold for your family and your future. Every single day, you're getting a little bit more and more and more gold. And especially when you start sharing it with people, that's what I did. When I first came in, I put money in and it paid me the very first day, and I pulled it out. Just as fast as I could pull it out, I pulled it out. And I said, okay, I'm closer to getting my money back. The second day it paid me again. The third day when it paid me again, I actually put some more money in because I was like, this thing's working. So, we're not reinventing the wheel. They're doing investments. They've got the AI, the bot trading technology. Jeremy Barnett, who's mine and Gary's partner, he knows trading. This guy's been trading for years and years and years. He knows the bots. He knows the technology. He knows the platforms that Beurax is trading on every single day. And he also understands the way they've got the AI technology. That's why they can turn these trades in a second and make the profit. We just posted 7 days ago. It was a 7-day run for the company. They had thousands of trades that they listed, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and many, many other coins. And they profited $13.7 million over 7 days. That's what Beurax as a company profited. So, someone said that, oh, I think the owner is an actor. I said, well, personally, the trades are real. They're paying us daily. I don't care if the owner's a 40-foot tall giraffe, and I don't care if the corporate office is on planet Mars. As long as my people are getting paid and changing their lives, which they are, I love Beurax. I believe in Beurax, and I share it every single day. I do probably 15 Zooms a day around the world. I'll do probably 20 to 30 three-way calls a day. This is the best I've ever done in any company I've ever been in. But more important than that, every single leader and every person I brought in this company, it's changing their lives. And I'm watching it happen, and it's happening for more and more people. So this is the one where you get off the sideline. I don't care if you put $20 in. I had a lady that put $20 into the program, and that's all she had. And I was like, look, $20, you can get started. Let's start making you some money. The next day, she shared it with a couple of people that were big in crypto. Somebody put in $10,000, and she made 6%. She called me in tears, and she put the money, and she said, I took that $800 and I put it right into a contract. And now she's up, I think she's making about $140 a day she's making, because for 75 days, she's just literally rolled her deposits over. So Hugh, I can't thank you enough for doing these presentations. You're absolutely incredible. I can't thank you enough for sharing this with me and Gary and Jeremy. You've absolutely changed our lives. Guys, we're at 30,000, but I promise you in the next 90 days, this team will be at 300,000. So Hugh, I'm going to turn it back over to you, my friend.
Well, thanks so much, Larry, and we're delighted it's working so well for you, and a great testimony, not just for yourself, but for others there. And you heard that Larry's partner is a trader. He's looked at the figures, the numbers. They're doing somewhere between 70 and 78% a month. And that maybe accounts for a sustainability factor. I don't know what happens when Bitcoin goes down, but I assume that trading, you win on the ups and the downs. So I'm not too concerned about that. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, this seems to be very, very good and honorable program. I just want to share this with you for those of you that might have a Bitcoin on the side doing nothing other than going up and down itself. On this 90-day 3.1% plan, the good news is that after just 17 days, you've already got half your Bitcoin back home, okay? After 33 days, you've got more than the Bitcoin you put in. So it's not as though it's locked up for a certain amount of time. Because you can withdraw every day, after just 33 days, you've got your whole Bitcoin out on profit. Guess what happens after 65 days? You've now got more than 2 Bitcoins, both home, both out. And then it's a 90-day plan. You end up with 2.79 Bitcoins. And of course, the right thing to do is as soon as one plan kicks off, you should maybe start a smaller plan in behind it, so that there's one finishing, you have another one starting, one finishing, another one starting. Some people have 30 plans, 40 plans. It's entirely up to you. That's the way it works. Now, the bad news, again, because there's good and bad here, the bad news is you cannot compound. I asked the company, why can you not compound? I mean, that's the 8th wonder of the world is compounding. They said to me that any program that's compounding in this fashion, it will not be sustainable. It's not. They don't intend to allow you to compound. So this is just a straight contract for X amount of days, starting with 15 days, guys. So please do your homework, do your due diligence, go and get that document from the government, satisfy yourselves. Seek professional advice when you're making any kind of business or investment decision. That's what I would recommend you do. And if you like what you see, come join the party. With that, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll be with you again this time next week on the same link. Bye-bye.